Hey, are you in here? Are you in here? Excuse me, lady. Lady. I see your sticker on the window. I see you're the chick trucker. Can you come to the window? Lady. Come on. Where you at? You in there? Oh man. Where'd she go?
I'm so freaked out right now. I gotta lock my doors. I gotta lock my doors. Good morning, truckers and friends. It is Wednesday, September 13th at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm on I-39 in Wisconsin, heading back up to Minnesota. I spent yesterday morning, I did a couple runs, made my delivery up here in Wisconsin. And then I stopped at a rest area for Monday nights. Made my delivery Tuesday morning. Picked up another load that's coming back up here to Minnesota. But that trailer that I picked up had some light issues. The left side of the trailer didn't have flashers or blinkers. So I called the shop and told them what was going on and asked them if they would prefer I stop at the shop on my way back through or stop at a truck stop. And they were like, just come on through here to the shop and we'll take a look at it for you. I was like, cool, okay, I need to turn in paperwork and all that, whatever, that's cool. So I got to the shop around 1 and they took a look at the lights. They said, well, while you're in here, your truck is due for a wet service. Okay, I got time. I had about 4.5, 5 hours to spare. And I dropped the trailer out in the hill and brought the truck back to the shop. And they said it shouldn't take very long. So I logged out of my ELD and figured I would just, chill around there for a while. And then they came over. I was sitting out on the sidewalk. The head mechanic came out and said, we found a blown wheel seal and it needs to be fixed. It's going to take about 2 hours for that. Do you still have time? I was like, yeah, I still have time. So they were fixing that. They were also checking everything else. They did the wet service, checked everything else. These guys are super thorough. They're always really, really good. They catch everything before it's too late. Our guys in the shop are amazing. Every time I go in there, I'm very impressed. And not only that, they're super nice. They're explain everything that they're doing. And if you have any questions, they're more than happy to show you, explain anything that you have questions about. They're super cool. Always, always, always super cool. Every one of them. I haven't run into one of them that is any less. It's awesome. So, it's getting kind of foggy out here. So they did that. Another thing they did, all the little fairings and plastic parts on this truck are really either loose or broken or have already fallen off. So I told them I told them last week when I was in South Dakota, I'm like, more pieces are falling off. I've got some bungee strapped on. I have to stop and get more bungee straps to strap the rest of them on. So I did. And I let them know that last week. So when I was in there yesterday or last night, they started going through all those pieces, putting new ones back on, fixing the ones that they could fix. They ordered more parts for the ones that they didn't have in stock already. Yay, I'm so excited. And I'll have to take it back this weekend so they can finish doing that. But I feel like I got a brand new truck practically. I got a couple more parts that they got to put on after they get them ordered. And it will look like new again. So excited. Yeah, it's getting foggy. Thankfully, I started my 10-hour... I didn't plan on taking my 10-hour break there because I didn't know it was going to take that long. But I started my logs. I put myself in off duty while I was there, thankfully, because it took until 11 o'clock last night for them to finish. And I have to be to my stop at 8 o'clock this morning in Minnesota. So they finished at like 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, and I still hadn't had any sleep to get on the road this morning to be to this next stop by 8 o'clock in the morning. So I got, I don't know, maybe an hour or so of sleep. So this is not going to help any, this fog. We'll be all right. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here because you can't see anyway. Toodles. I'm on 94 westbound in Wisconsin around Eau Claire, and the sun is starting to come up. Of course, it's behind me. It rained a little bit. It was foggy a little bit here and there, not too bad. But for the most part, it's been a pretty good ride so far. Getting up here into the woods and just cruising along. Saw a big buck on the side of the road. I'm glad he stayed there because he was huge. I was just standing there eating the grass. Scared the crap out of me, of course. He looked up right as I went by and his eyes were glowing. I got a little over an hour to go till I get to my destination. I'm going to a Home Depot store to deliver this load, and then heading back over to Wisconsin to pick up a load that's going to another place in Wisconsin. I think I'm going to Chippewa Falls to pick up a load that's going to, I can't remember, somewhere over by Lake Michigan. I think it's about a 290 mile trip. This is a great company, you guys. I love it here. They treat you like family. Everybody knows your name. You're not a number. You know, they take good care of you. They take good care of your equipment. They make sure everything's done, you know, on schedule like it's supposed to. They let you know when they got to get you into the shop. They'll figure out a way to get you there so you can get your, you know, PMIs and all that stuff done. And I'm so impressed with how well they check over the truck when you just go in for a wet service. But I've never had a company that goes over the truck so thoroughly during a wet service as they do. In my last video, I was going to let you know how my week went while I was on vacation. And let me just tell you, it was amazing. It was so awesome to have the kids all together and have my grandson there. And we had a barbecue and some family over that hadn't met the baby yet. So that was a lot of fun. We cooked out. We had a ton of food. It was awesome. It had to be on a Thursday night because my boys and some of Aaron's friends were all going to go up to a cabin in northern Wisconsin to spend 3 days up there. And they were going to leave early Friday morning and then come back Sunday. And I was going to meet them at my aunt's house so her family could meet my grandson. Nobody up there has met him either. And we were going to take him to meet my dad, who lives in a nursing home right now. We had the barbecue on Thursday, and they were going to leave Friday. Well, on Thursday, they decided, after everybody was there, they decided not to go to the cabin because it was going to be like a 6.5 hour drive, 6 or 7 hour drive one way just to get there. And then, you know, 6+ hours on the way back because they were going to swing over to Platteville to visit family there. And then some of the boys that were going to go, some of Aaron's friends, couldn't make it. And then my youngest son decided he wasn't going to go, so it was going to be just a few people instead of like a whole group of people. And they were like, oh, just forget it. We'll just hang out here. We'll do fun stuff with the family and go up and see Grandpa and my aunt and the family up there, which is only a 2.5, 3 hour drive versus 6+ hours. So I was happy about that. So I didn't get to babysit Rowan, my grandson, but I did get to babysit while Aaron went out to see some of his friends he hasn't seen in a while. And it was so much fun. He's such a good baby. He's such a good little boy. He's walking and getting all around and getting into things, and he's got such the cute little personality. It's so cool. So it was a really good week, and I really enjoyed myself. It was awesome getting to know Rowan as a toddler, because the last time I saw him, he was a year old, but he still wasn't walking yet, and still attached to mom and dad and grandma and grandpa that see him all the time. And so it was hard to get my time with him while everybody else was around. So while I was babysitting and hanging out with him, he got to know me a little, and we had lots of fun together. And he was actually walking up to me and putting his arms up like he wanted me to pick him up. And I just love that. It makes my heart full. I miss him so much after being with him for a week and hanging out with him and doing fun stuff together. It's even harder now that they're so far away, because now I see all the things I'm missing, and it makes me sad. So I'm really, really wanting to move to Tennessee even more now. And of course I miss my son too. That's a given. I've missed him since the day he left. Me and my boys are very, very close. And we have a very good relationship. We talk about anything. I love it. So to have him that far away and not here with the rest of us is hard. But that's how my week was. I would do it all over again if I could. Every minute of it. It was awesome. I'm talking about when a truck pulls out in front of a vehicle that was going fast, and now everybody's backing up because you can't get up this hill. We're down to 55 miles an hour. That was just asinine. What a butthead. And that GMC had to slam on his brakes. I'm sure he was being a little more dramatic about it, but you know how people do. He could have very easily waited till these guys got around. There's hardly anybody out here. Why this lady in this car, the Toyota, the blue one right in front of me right now, that lady's got a book in her lap on her steering wheel, reading a book while she's driving. You gotta be kidding me. Don't text, but it's okay if you read a book. What the heck? It's open and everything, laying out on her steering wheel. Yesterday, when I was waiting for my truck to be done, well, before I knew it was going to be a long one, I was sitting out on the sidewalk in front of our shop building there, and the owner and his wife pulled up, and they live in Houston now, I believe. And I didn't know they were up here. When they pulled up, I was like, oh my gosh, the owner's here. And he went in and did something, and then he came back out, and he saw me sitting on the sidewalk, and he came over, and I stood up, and he was like, how you doing? Good to see you again. And shook my hand and everything, and asked how things were going, how the truck was running, and all the things. And then he's like, sit back down, I'll sit with you. And he sat with me on the sidewalk, and he was showing me some of the graphs and things of how the trucking industry is doing right now, and how it looks to be going back up right now as far as the graphs were that he had. And I just love that. He just took the time to sit with me and explain things and show me, just because things are changing at the, in the business, and he's changing some things around, doesn't mean that we need to worry. Like, he's doing these things to benefit the business and the drivers, and I just thought that was so awesome. He's such a cool guy, and I have nothing but awesome things to say about him, because all I've seen is awesomeness out of him. He jumped in his dad's cab over and said he was going to take it over to the other building, and he went over and hooked up the matching trailer, which is not black with the blue swirls on it, the blue and yellow swirls on it. His cab over is maroon and silver, and it's really cool, and it's got a matching trailer. And he drove back past the building to take it over to our other building after he hooked up the trailer. And I was just like, that is so cool. He just jumps in a truck and he just moved it, I believe. But when I was in Houston, he was jumping in the trucks out in the yard and moving trailers and doing all the things. And he's still out here. He's still, boots on the ground kind of guy. And I love that. And they send out, videos and updates on the company so everybody knows what's happening and why and what he's doing and why. And I just think that's so awesome. And like I said, they treat you like family. He greets everybody he sees, and he doesn't treat you like a number. He treats you like, you're his coworker and not, his employee, which I think is so cool. I love it. This is a great company. I can't say that enough. And they don't pay me to do this. I'm doing this on my own. This is all my very own opinion. I'm not, nothing. I'm not getting anything out of this. I love it here. And I hope that someday, if I do get to move to Tennessee, that I can continue working here. Rick and have them come out and get the seat.